Hi, I'm Tinny from Mini Bowl Design, and today I got all kinds of things to cover here, so I'll try to get started. Okay, the winning bid on the Nyan, what a little beauty, is John from Canada. So I'll be shipping this out to you. I have your address and everything, and I'll be shipping this out to you probably today. So that takes care of that. Okay, I'll write his name right on the bottom of it so I don't lose it. And then I got a bunch of other stuff to show you. Okay, the next item up for bid is fairly simple. I've got two used mini atomics. Some use more. They're both good stoves, both burn just fine. They just use, so I can't sell them as new. And I'm selling both of them at the same time. And you know the drill. Tinny at minibowldesign.com. Okay. Now I want to talk about Ryan. He emailed me again a couple times, very detailed. So I'm not going to get into a lot of the detail because that was more or less between he and I, the mental state of how he got into backpack, how he got into through hiking the entire Appalachian Trail. But what I am going to talk about is one of the emails he was talking about his shoes. And shoes are a real sensitive subject with backpackers. It's like the holy grail, shoes. So what did he wear for shoes? Well, as near as I can tell, he wore like tennis shoes, you know, just lightweight, cheapo shoes that you could get at the local Walmart probably or something like that. You know, $20 shoes. Nothing expensive at all. And he did that through the whole trail. I think towards the end when he was in Rangeley, Maine, he couldn't get a really cheap pair, so he actually bought a pair of like 10, you know, probably Nikes or something like that, but he preferred the cheaper shoes. Now he said that they didn't wear out on the outside. The problem he ran into was they wore out on the inside. The inner liners would all wear out and his feet would start chafing, but they didn't wear out on the outside, which surprised me because I expected the outside to wear out first, especially going through Pennsylvania. Now he said his experience through Pennsylvania, where I've heard shoes go to die, he said he didn't think was all that bad because it was all small rocks that would kind of slide under your feet. He said he damaged a lot more shoes in areas where the rocks were, where there were a lot of big rocks. So that was kind of interesting to me. Now, he doesn't believe in wearing hiking boots. And I got to tell you, I've waffled back and forth on this one way or the other. Obviously, a good pair of hiking boots will protect your feet, and if you get the right ones, you'll have a good arch support, and they'll be very comfortable. On the downside, they are a lot heavier than just a light pair of shoes, and they claim for every pound you wear on your feet, it's equal to carrying 5 pounds on your back. So, you know, you can see back and forth on that. My experience has been, if you are going to buy a pair of hiking shoes, from my experience is, you want to buy a really good pair, and it's really important to note how they lace up. You want to be able to lace them up tight. The pair I have is designed so you can lace them loose right up to where your foot starts to curve up. And then there's a lock mechanism there where you can lock and then lace them tight from that curve up so that your toes won't be constricted by a tightly laced boot. But your ankles will be constricted, and that way when you step, your foot can't slide forward in the shoe. And that's what happened to me on 2 occasions, is they weren't designed to be laced correctly, so I couldn't lace them up real tight. And when I was doing it downhill, like probably 3 miles of downhill, I stepped and my foot slid forward in the shoe, and when it did, I didn't have my toenails clipped right back, which I highly recommend anybody does. And my toenail was out to the edge of my toe, enough so that when I hit the boot, the toenail hit right on the toe of the boot, and it pushed it back. And when it does that, it bruises and damages the gland that your toenail grows out of. And what happens is that toenail quits growing, it dies, and another one grows in underneath it, and the toenail will turn all black. It's called hammer toe. I did that twice. Now, it took me 2 years, the first time I did it, to get the old toenail off, the new toenail all grown out, and get everything squared around. So it's not something I take lightly. It took me probably a couple of months of limping before they were good enough so I could walk on them again without any pain. So watching your shoes is extremely important. And I guess probably thinking about the shoes he was wearing, they probably didn't have enough structure to do that to your toes, but I couldn't have done that. My ankles aren't that strong, and my feet aren't that tough. But he was a young buck when he did this. Did it back in '97, before the internet. His trail name was Meant to Be. It's a name he came up with one day. So enough kicking around this guy. I really appreciate all the information you give me, but it's time to move on. Hopefully a new thru hiker will contact me. There's one fellow that has, but he's not a thru hiker, so I hesitate to use his stuff. And but I will find somebody else. I'm sure there'll be somebody else contact me right away. It's a couple of people I'm kind of waffling around with. So that's enough for this video. I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design, 2 Mini Atomics, Tinny at minibulldesign.com. Get out and hike, take a friend, enjoy the great outdoors, and more important than anything, try to have a really great day. Bye-bye.